Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Sandra Hibbert. Afternoon, Ms. Hibbert. What's your date of birth?
7/21/85.
Sandra, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Myself is fine.
Very good. State, what can you tell me?
Yes, she has a withhold in 2012 for violation of financial responsibility law. She got a PTI in 2008 for uttering a forged instrument, which she successfully completed. And then in 2008, she got an adjudication for retail theft.
All right. Sandra, I have an address for you on Briarwood Lane in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
And you live with Mr. Goodman?
Yes.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a CNA.
Okay. All right, Sandra, I'm going to set your bond at $50. Condition of the bond, however, is that you're not going to have, while this charge is pending, you won't have any contact with Mr. Goodman. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through social media. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he's allowed to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them this is all a big misunderstanding and he doesn't want to go forward. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you until 4 o'clock this afternoon so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating that injunction. As far as that address on Briarwood is concerned, as long as Mr. Goodman stays there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay while the charge is pending. If that's the case, you can go by one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, for whatever you need for wherever you plan to go. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They would meet you there with a deputy who would stand by while you got your things and got going where you're going. I'll have you back in court on November 20th for your arraignment. All right?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
How will I know if he's there? What about my children?
Well, and the children you have in common with him?
Yes.
All right, and I assume that your kids are at that address, and we can assume someone is there with them who's an adult, right?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Well, my oldest is 15.
Okay, well, the answer is, as far as your kids are, I'm not telling you can't have contact with your kids. I'm telling you can't have contact with Mr. Goodman, which means you cannot contact him to arrange visitation with the kids. Is there somebody who you think would be willing to do that?
Yes.
Who's that?
Probably my mother.
Okay. I will let you have contact with your mother for purposes of arranging visitation with your children. She can also tell you whether or not he has decided to stay there on Briarwood or whether he's gone someplace else, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Brenda Hibbert? Morning, Ms. Herman. What's your date of birth?
January 1581.
All right, Ms. Herman, I have two warrants for you out of Pinellas County. Judge or judges down there think you failed to appear on a couple of felony cases. The first one, there's 4 counts.
Pasco?
I think it's Pinellas. I thought, but is it Pasco? It's Pasco.
No.
Sorry.
Okay.
Right circuit, wrong county. The judge there set bonds on the first one on the 4 counts. 3 of them are at $50,013, one at $5,013. On the second warrant, one is at $50,013 and the other is at $5,013. That's a total of $210,078. If you could post that bond, you could get out of jail here, go down to Pasco, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, we'll let Pasco know that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. It never takes 5 with Pasco. But if for some strange and unforeseen reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna Bryant.
Yes, sir.
Bryant, what's your date of birth?
10/4/66.
Anna, you are here on 3 charges. We've got a retail theft, possession of New Legend drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and the retail theft is a felony retail theft. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender? I'll point to PD, state. Apparently she's got an open case.
Yes, we're, per my discussion with ASA Larison, he requested an RCO order unless she would like to take the offer that he has on file for her, which is adjudication 90 days, fine, score cost, prosecution. I think she has 46 days credit as of today.
Okay.
So she actually has an open case in Sumter as well.
Okay. Well, it's pending in front of next door, right?
Yes, the other side.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, so you're saying she was in jail for a while on that, and it looks like she got ROR'd last time she was in court.
Mm-hmm. That's my understanding. I have listed here that she had 44 days credit, and she got ROR, so she's been in now for 2 days.
Okay. All right, so Anna, here's the spot you're in. You picked up these new charges, and you were out on pretrial release on a misdemeanor case that was pending in front of Judge Rupi. What happens in those cases, the state can ask, and they have, that I revoke your bond in the old case. Because job number one when you're out on pretrial release is don't pick up new charges. If you do, then I can revoke your pretrial release in the old case and hold you without bond. The option they're giving you is you can plead to that case today. They want 90 days in the county jail on that case. You have credit for 44 served, which means you'd have about 31 days to do to finish that sentence. And I'm happy to give you that today. Otherwise, I'm going to revoke your bond in that case. You'll be back in front of the judge on that one in 22 days. So you want to take the 90 on that old case, and then I'll set bonds on the new cases, or would you want to speak to your attorney before you take the 90?
No, I'll take the 90.
All right. You understand by entering a plea in that case, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes.
In case number 19-3137, MM as to charge of battery, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 90 days in the county jail, credit 44 days served. Finding court costs is $900, $100 for the public defender's office, and your costs of incarceration, so that takes care of that case. Now, on the new cases, on the felony theft, I'll set your bond at $1,000. On the new lead and drug and the paraphernalia, $500 each. So the bond on that is $2,000. Of course, you're not eligible to bond out until after you complete the sentence on the other case. The felony case will be back in court on November 26th, and the public defender will come see you before you go to court on that one, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicholas Damore. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
03-26-99.
All right, Nicholas, you're here on a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is PC for the violation. As to that charge, looks like, did you plead out in Pasco and be supervised here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the bond will be no bond, Nicholas. We'll let Pasco know that you're ready to go on this case. They'll have 5 days to come get you. Won't take 5 with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
I still have charges over here, though. Will I be...
Yeah, if you've got stuff pending here, you're going to stay here till those are done, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Darwin Barranco. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4/17/68.
All right, Darwin, yours is also a probable cause arrest for a VOP. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. The bond on that is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see the judge on the 26th of November, and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Jason Kirkpatrick. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/18/76.
Jason, I've got a warrant for you signed by Judge Toner. Apparently you failed to appear in his court for sentencing on 4 charges, trafficking in amphetamine, vehicle with altered numbers, driving on a suspended possession of paraphernalia. Did you have a lawyer on that case?
Yes, sir.
Was it a public defender?
No, private lawyer.
All right, who's your lawyer?
Tino Michaels.
Okay. Does Dino know where you're at right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't made any phone calls. I
Okay.
haven't got to contact anybody yet.
All right. So the bond on the warrant, because it was sentencing, is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'll change the date to the 22nd of November. November 22nd, she'll be back. Do everything you can do to get a hold of Mr. Michaels, all right?
Yep.
Thank you. Jeremiah Stinson. Afternoon, Jeremiah. What's your date of birth?
08/02/95.
Jeremiah, we have 3 charges today: possession of hashish, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. It's probable cause for all 3. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I can represent myself, sir.
Okay. Well, Jeremiah, one of those charges is a felony charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And state, what's the history?
Yes, Your Honor, we have adjudication in 2016 for violation of domestic violence injunction, adjudication in 2015 for petty theft, $100, less than $300, and a withhold in 2012 for grand theft, $300, less than $20,000.
And Jeremiah, I've got an address for you on Linden Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
That's my grandmother's house. I've lived there a majority of my life, but for the past year solid now, I would say.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I work at Applebee's. I'm general utility.
Okay. I'll set your bond on the hash at $1,000 and the marijuana and the paraphernalia $500 each. That's a total of $2,000. You'll be back in court on November 26th, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got anything else for me, Gerald?
No, Your Honor.
Awesome. Thank you.
So,